studios here in Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Odd Musings. We are your hosts. I'm Brett Pinson.
And I'm Scott Zambelli.
Today we are joined by the Desantis family from Great Lakes Comic Convention. We got Mike and Amy here with us.
Hello.
I'm fortunate to have Amy sitting next to me to separate us from Mike, because him and I kind of pal around.
That was planned. That was completely planned. Actually, I said, who do you want to sit next to, Brett or Scott? She's like, I'll sit next to Brett. I said, okay, I guess I'm stuck next to Scott.
The beard and Davis once again.
That's okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk some Great Lakes Comic Convention today, coming up at the end of February. You guys have, I think this is the most excited I've been for any of the guests you've had. This is going to be a great show. We're going to get to that as we go on for the episode here today. But you guys have had some great guests in the past, and we'll definitely talk about some of that too here. But first, how was Christmas?
It was wonderful. And one thing I say about Christmas overall, because, we're off work this week, and I never complain about the holidays. Ever. Anytime, I love what I do, love my job. Not Comic-Con related, of course.
Now, of course, you're a teacher.
But, yes, I'm a high school teacher.
Yeah. And what do you teach in high school? See,
that's like my secret identity.
Okay.
It's like the Comic-Con's like the superhero thing. But I teach social studies. I teach government and history.
Okay.
And, it's like my side gig.
Yeah.
How long have you been teaching for?
23 years.
Oh, a long time.
Yeah, very long time.
23
But I love it. Absolutely love it. But Christmas was wonderful. Family was wonderful. And like I said, never say a bad thing about vacation time or family time, any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's always nice to have that
always
time
good.
off.
Yeah,
do you get a full 2 weeks or just like a week and a half?
Full 2 weeks this year.
Oh, good.
We're back on January 7th. Yeah, she's in education as well. So.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know you were also in education.
Yeah, I'm a counselor at Macomb Community College.
Oh, okay. Great.
So, 2 weeks off. Yay.
And I don't get 2 weeks off because that's not what I do.
We're self-employed, so we can't afford to take a week off.
Yeah, actually, I was glad I didn't. I do, besides the Comic-Cons, I do Shift now. I don't know if you've been listening to podcasts. We talked about that. And it's been a great supplement to the income. And this past couple weeks have been really good with the holidays, staying busy the whole time. And then my vacation starts next month. People go, you're going to take any time off for the holidays? I said, nope, I'm going to take it off in January and go to Florida when nobody's there.
That's right.
Good idea.
Yeah,
good idea.
Perfect.
Everybody's been on vacation in Florida now, and I'm like, I'll get down there in January. Universal will be wide open when I go there, and won't have to worry about it. I'm going to fly down, so I can just not worry about driving this time, and it'll be a great time in that. So
good times.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you guys have a couple kids.
Yes.
We don't want to get
who are probably still sleeping. We left the house. They were both, dead to the world. But
it's
their vacation time too, right?
Yeah, they're on vacation now, so it's like we just sleep the whole time. They're like teenagers now, aren't they?
Yeah, 15 and 12.
Oh, geez.
So if we would have woke them up, I'm sure they would have gone right back to bed after we left.
So, although now I'm getting to the age where when I got the free time, I want to sleep too. Naps are becoming more and more important each year.
Yeah. So Scott, how was your Christmas?
It was great. Yeah, did the family stuff and enjoyed it, and slipped out to the movies. Got to see Bumblebee and Aquaman, so did that, and just overall a good time.
Yeah, I know you posted on your personal page for Aquaman. And
I'm not going to try to bash it too much, but I gave my thoughts a few minutes ago. I'm not, I'm not a DC fan in general, but of all the DC movies, this was my personal least favorite. Not counting Justice League, only because I didn't see Justice League, so I can't comment one way or the other on that one.
Yeah.
But Wonder Woman's still my favorite for the DC movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid. I haven't seen it yet, but it's one of those things where maybe I'll go see it just to say I've seen it and be done with it like I did with the other ones. But
Well, if you can choose between that and any other movie, I would do any other movie. Just to say.
Well, I want to see the Into the Spider-Verse one, because I am a big Spider-Man fan. I think it's one thing I think Mike and I was looking at. He's a big Spider-Man guy. And, when you're selling your comics, you've got, what do you call your
Webhead Comics?
Webhead Comics.
Yep, webheadcomics.com.
.com.
Check that out. But,
.com.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's links there to the Great Lakes Comic Convention.com.
Yep.
Are you still under Great Lakes Comic Expo.com as well?
Well, we run both.
Yeah.
We were doing 4 shows a year. The big one in February, we've been calling that the con or the convention. And the other ones we've been calling the expos.
Okay.
So both websites are active and live, whatever you want to say. Awesome. But you can hit them all from either one.
Okay.
Yep.
That's great on that.
Yeah.
So Amy's just sitting there going, oh, God, they're talking Comic-Con again. But you're a big integral part of the shows.
Yeah, I'm the president.
The president.
Her name's officially on all the important stuff.
So she is
You're
boss.
in charge.
I am technically Pepper Potts. This operation.
There you go. And that's a good thing he's not really Tony Stark, so.
Be nice.
You wish you had the money.
His wallet.
Money-wise, right.
Right?
Yeah, so
Sorry to disappoint you.
Yeah,
Tony Stank.
So while we have these 2 weeks off from our other job, we're doing this.
Yeah.
We're doing getting ready for the show for February, and now that Christmas is over, now that's when
The
really
big push.
the wheels start really moving, going, oh shoot, we have to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It'll be nonstop.
Well, it is a podcast. We try not to use too much language, but
No, I was.
But if you do, don't worry about it. The FCC is not going to come shut us down. Because again, it is an internet podcast. There we go. We have a swear jar in the middle.
There we go.
We'll have you join our. We want to plan a evening type show where we can have people on and really talk about the state of Comic Cons in general.
Actually, if we're going to do a swear jar, we got to have Kevin Miner on every week. We'll fund our show just off of him.
Yeah. He was good though. When he was on the show, he watched the language.
He did.
But in real life, when we're all together, there's enough F-bombs being dropped to take out a small country.
He's like the dad in the Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Don't go there. Saw it from the side.
Is it someone not favorite movie or?
Actually, I just saw it for the first time.
Oh,
really?
2 days ago.
Oh, and what were your thoughts on it?
Well, she had mentioned let's watch this tonight, and of course we had my oldest was in the room, so Meadow was in the room. We were watching it, and I understand it's kind of old school, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But my 15-year-old, after about 20 minutes, she's like, "This is stupid. This is dumb."
Right.
And finally, I said, "You don't have to stay in the room and watch it if you don't want to." So she got up and left at that point. But no. I mean, I've known about it. I just never actually sat down and watched it.
Yeah.
So the different one-liners in there, you're gonna shoot your eye out, all that stuff.
Yeah, you knew those.
And the tongue on the pole, I've seen that at some point. So.
And I've met him.
So, oh really?
Yeah, Scotty's
cool.
done. He did Motor City years ago, and I saw him in a couple other shows. And
he had a whole different line of work for a while.
He's still the same height as he was back then. He's a short guy. Actually, Mom, you got to know Mom a little bit, and he loved Mom because they were the same height. So, and Mom loved that shows. I got a picture of them somewhere. I'll have to repost on her Connie the Comic Con page, which she's going to be with me for the show.
Oh, cool.
So if you want to throw her up there as a special guest, she'll.
Absolutely, sure.
Connie the Comic Con mom.
And then Ralphie is the lead elf in Elf. He's the head elf in Santa's workshop in the.
Oh, I didn't know
Will
that.
Ferrell's.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that one I've seen.
He directs
one of my favorites. But
Yeah, he's the one that's trying to tell Buddy he's really good at what he does.
You're not a cotton-headed ninny monkey.
Yeah.
And he says, he's a cotton-headed ninny monkey.
Everyone's like,
he doesn't know he's a human. Yeah, Mom put out. She can't stand that movie. She's talking about the Christmas Story one. She hates that movie.
Oh, I love that movie.
See, I think for us that saw it back when it first came out in the 80s, and then you liked it as a kid. It's just one of those continuing nostalgic things, and it's definitely very dated in a lot of ways. Not just because it's a period piece. First of all,
Right.
I mean, how many kids this year got a BB gun for Christmas? Not many.
Right.
Now there are some that got actual live weapons. I've seen people post online like, "Yeah, I got my kid a new gun. They're outside shooting it right now." Squirrels are safe though because he can't hit anything. So.
Well, the fun part for me was we were watching. I kept looking over at her, and the grin, like you could tell that she, of course, grew up with it, watched it a lot, and got really excited about certain parts. So watching her enjoy it was fun.
Oh, that's nice.
So
that's always a fun part of that.
Somebody did a great mashup of Walking Dead and Christmas Story, where and Ralphie's got the BB gun, he's shooting out the window at the bad guy, at the robbers. They edited in the zombies getting shot, and it actually worked out pretty well. Wasn't he Messy Marvin also for the Hershey?
Yes.
Commercials?
I think so.
Yeah, Messy Marvin.
Messy Marvin.
He did a lot of stuff back then. So he was as a child actor, was in a ton of movies in the early '80s and commercials and stuff like that, and then disappeared for a while. He was like, he's dead. He went along with the Mikey from the '70s.
Supposedly ate the Pop Rocks and
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, and his stomach exploded.
Yeah, so don't do that. So we'll take him off the market. Now people are doing. They're going, it didn't do nothing to me.
Well, I think he actually did live. I don't think he actually did. I think that's all just.
Yeah, he's still alive. Last I heard. So he just disappeared from acting. There
you go. You got to get Mikey as a guest.
Sure, why not?
We'll just make him eat cereal the whole time. Have him and Ryan Gosling together eating cereal. See.
Yeah, we'll see which line's longer on that one.
Well, you've seen Ryan Gosling not eating his cereal. Oh, there's a whole YouTube channel.
Oh, God.
A whole YouTube channel.
I got to get out more.
Yeah, so somebody took all these clips of Ryan Gosling in scenes, and then, in front of the TV screen, you see a hand with a spoon of cereal coming towards Ryan Gosling's mouth, and then Ryan Gosling will be like... or he'll go like this, and then the cereal will get flipped out. So there's this whole segment of Ryan Gosling won't eat his cereal, and the guy actually unfortunately got cancer, passed away. And then Ryan Gosling did a tribute to him him where he's sitting down and he actually eats the cereal as a tribute to that guy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but so that's the cereal reference that nobody got.
See, I was excited this year for the commercial for Google Home, and they brought in Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone.
Good.
Have you guys seen that one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I think that's the best commercial I've seen in a few years. And I like that it looked exactly like it was from the movie, except he's older.
Actually,
and he's jumping on the bed though. And he starts coming down. He's like, oh.
The surprising thing is he looked healthy.
Yeah, he looks really good.
Yeah.
Compared to what in the past when he was
a few years ago,
looking pretty bad.
I think he did all that on purpose to really get away from that Home Alone thing. And they came to us like, "Will you cut your hair? Here's $2 million." Yeah, I'll do that.
Well, was he on? Didn't he have to go to a rehab and all that stuff? Didn't he?
Probably.
I think he was on drugs or something.
He looked like he was on drugs
For the way he looked.
Yeah. He was like
Really
crazy
thin
skinny, but he looked healthy in the commercial.
Yeah, it was a good commercial.
So hopefully we'll get a comeback.
Yeah, we need a new Home Alone with him where he leaves his kid Kevin Jr. at home. He can go, Kevin.
And it's like for 3 years in a row they kept leaving their kid at home by himself.
Yeah, they're like the worst parents ever. Oh yeah, we lost our kid in New York, and we're going to go to Paris. And what's he going to do? He's going to bump into Donald Trump and have fun.
Right.
Now you mentioned he hurt his back jumping up and down on the bed, but if he were local to here, who could he go to get his back worked
I'm
on?
glad you brought that up. One of our great sponsors, Lawrencere Family Chiropractic, where your journey to wellness begins here. Build a healthy lifestyle with chiropractic care. I actually have to go there today because they were closed yesterday for Christmas, which I wasn't doing anything yesterday. I could have gone and got adjusted. I don't know what they were doing. Probably spending time with family and all that. But Lawrencere Family Chiropractic Center, PC, they take great pride in providing the finest chiropractic care to each and every patient. Located in Belleville, Michigan and Dexter, Michigan, they offer on-site digital x-rays, massage therapy, orthotics by foot levelers, young living essential oils, aromatherapy, full line of vitamin, all with a family-oriented environment. Give them a call, 734-697-4244. Visit them online, LawrencereFamilyChiropractic.com. We also have a link at imusings.com under our sponsors page. And you can go check them out. And if you can't come to them in person, give them a call to find where you can find a local chiropractor they can recommend for you.
There you go.
I'll be going out to Dexter today because that's where Dr. Anna will be at. So I'll be visiting that office. They're still trying to build the new one. They've run into some hang-ups here and there, but it's coming along pretty good.
All right. Awesome. Check them out.
Yep. It's one of our original sponsors. Been with us since day one.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Great Lakes Comic Convention. I gotta get used to saying the whole
I
word.
accept both. It just depends whether you're a legal team
I think
or
we
not.
can say
exactly.
What's the legal team's there? It's convention.
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 It's only if you get a cease and desist from somebody.
San Diego just ruined it everywhere.
That's because they had that beef with Salt Lake, so which is all ridiculous.
Yeah.
So.
Well, anyways, onward from that.
Yeah, but you guys were going into the 9th year.
9th?
Yeah.
And that now you started off doing the smaller shows. That's when I first met you, doing the VFW hall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is no longer there.
Right.
Ironically,
The hall itself is
the
on
hall is gone. It was Frazo and Gratiot, Roseville, and it was sold to a private group. They were doing something with it, and I guess it didn't work out, and they sold it to someone else who leveled the place.
They were going to make it into a banquet hall, and it was just too expensive.
So it's gone. I don't know. I haven't driven by there probably in a year or so, so I don't know what it's like now, but it was, Yeah, we had some great shows there. That's the first time I met you guys there, and I loved doing the shows there. Always had a nice, healthy crowd for that small of a show, and always the guys running the bar in the back. So that always helps. Yes, beer at the comic book show. Yeah, it kind of loosens the wallet.
Yeah, that was my dad.
That was your dad. Yep. Met your dad there, and and that, of course, you guys have always been really generous with the smaller shows like that, giving us the free hot dog and a soda and chips. Oh yeah, so we always appreciated that. Then you moved on. I know I've done the. You're still doing the church. Yep, July Trinity Lutheran Church. Yep, and that benefits the Boy Scouts. Yep. We try to do a benefit for each show. Different group, a different philanthropy, and that one's going to be. It's 1 year behind the rest of the schedule. We started the VFW first, and the following year we started doing them at Trinity. Yeah. So I guess it's our 8th year coming up on Trinity now. So I've been working with them a long time too. Yeah, I think that's a good thing because the Boy Scouts come out and they help out. They help us load in and out, and they come around to the tables and they're really great. And we give them part of the table sales. The dealers pay for their table, and we give them 20% of that goes to the Boy Scouts, and then admissions. They get 1/3 of the admissions. It's $3, so they get $1 for each admission, and they get all the food sales. So they do pretty well with the show. Yeah, Yeah, I would think so. I know people definitely get the food, and you always get, I would say, a good 400 or 500 people through the door.
Oh, yeah. It's worked like clockwork the last couple of years with that. I just tell people 400 to 600 people, between 400 and 600 for the July show. December, similar.
And that's no exaggeration, because I've done the show every year. It's definitely the crowd shows up, and even if they're, for some on the other side of the table for us that is spending as much as we'd like them to spend, they're at least coming out supporting. And I love when I can support that show because it is helping the charity of the Boy Scouts and that.
Yep, absolutely.
What I love about the shows too is so many conventions now really are just autograph shows that are calling themselves conventions, and we're there just to pretend like it's a convention. But everyone's there for autographs. Your show is still, to me, when I do them, I still feel like it's a comic convention. It's the fans come out, they appreciate the artists, the vendors. You still have a great guest list that shows up, so people are seeing it. It's the blend. You're getting it all.
You have a healthy amount of the artists as well as the vendors, and it never feels like it's all the same. There's such a good diversity within all that, different styles for the artists. Right. Even the vendors, it's not 25 vendors of selling just the pops. They bring different things in and do different projects and things like that, which is really great. And then you have the guests, and you
always come up with a great list. And you got another great lineup for this coming February.
Yeah, there's I was really excited about this because growing up on Sesame Street and seeing this group here, and the rumor has it, so if anybody says it's wrong, don't correct us, all right? But having
or correct
Bob,
us in a loving manner.
Having for the first time all together in one setting, Bob, Gordon, Lewis, and Alan from the show. You have Bob McGrath, Roscoe Orman played Gordon, Emilio Delgado played Lewis, and then Alan Maraca, who played Alan together. And then you just added in Carol Spinney, who is known mostly for Big Bird as well as Oscar the Grouch. And he's a fantastic artist in his own right. I've seen him do sketches at shows, and this is he's retiring from not just doing the show, but also retiring from doing appearances. So this is going to be one of the last times for him to
We've been told by his agent, that this is the last year he'll be doing any appearances, and they're thinking probably 3 or 4 the entire year. So, and for our area, the Detroit area, this is probably the only appearance he's going to make. So
unless he pulls a Stan Lee.
This is the time to meet
for
him.
like 4 years in a row. This is the last time. And then
we'll see what happens with that.
Right.
I'm still waiting for Zombie Stan Lee to start showing up now.
That could happen. You never know.
It'd be just like from we've talked about Z Nation, and they had the episode in the second season with George R.R. Martin as a zombie signing autographs. They could have Zombie Stan Lee signing autographs, and every time
people would still pay.
They would
get it witnessed and get it graded.
Yep. So you just slide it over here. Don't get your hand too close.
So when you're planning out your shows like this, like here, you got this great lineup from Sesame Street, and this is what makes your show so great, I think, too, is the guests you do bring in. It's like something unique. It's not like a certain actor where maybe you've seen him at 50 other shows that whole year. Here you got the lineup from Sesame Street, and you get a good blend of it's a celebrity, but you also hit that nostalgia point where it'll help bring those fans in that we appreciate as artists and vendors to get those people into the show.
I think this is a great way to bring in people that don't normally come to a Comic-Con. They always think it's just the superheroes. Or realize that the Comic-Cons have evolved so much they include more. I mean, you've got, like I said, we mentioned the Sesame Street. You also got Mr. McFeely coming in, who I've met several times in Pittsburgh, and I haven't really seen him outside of the Pittsburgh area do appearances. So I think this is great to have him come out. And he's got some great stories about Mr. Rogers, and he's still good friends with Mrs. Rogers. And that, because I had friends that were in Pittsburgh that ran into them after a show, a play.
Yeah, he's from the area there.
Yeah, he's always around in Pittsburgh. That's where I've met him at different events when I've been in Pittsburgh, not just Comic-Cons. And he will pop in, and the thing is, the mustache he will grow just for the appearances. And when he's not doing that, he shaves it off. But he will wear. I've seen him wear the suit and everything, and he's like one of the greatest people you can meet because he loves meeting everybody. And he has his own little speedy delivery books.
So when you're planning your shows, like are you like saying, okay, we really want a Sesame Street theme this year? Like how do you go about coming up with your theme and who you want and going about getting these kind of guests? How do you do that?
Well, I wish I could say there's a formula, but there really isn't. It all just kind of falls into place, and it's done that the last several years,
Well, you kind of have a bucket list of who you actually want to meet.
True. Yeah.
I know when you and I first started talking at shows, you said, you wanted to start doing shows so you could meet some people. Like you mentioned like Stan Lee, but knew that would be almost near impossible for his cost. But but there's a lot of other ones.
And I joke about this, part of the reason we even do the show is just so I can meet people. You know, that's and the rest of you guys like it, you guys come. That's like a side, benefit. And of course, that's, tongue in cheek as I say that.
We're funding his fandom.
Yes, there you go. But it does, that's part of the criteria. It's like, well, a few things. And Scott mentioned a moment ago, it's like, who hasn't been in the area recently is what we look at, one of the things. And then who is it we think that, not only we would like to meet, but just who do we think the community in general would like to meet? Well, and
what's nice is you understand, you got the same taste as the fans.
I think we have our fingers on the pulse pretty well.
Right. So if it's somebody on your list, it's probably somebody on everybody else's list too. Right. So that's the nice, and that's where you get like this kind of a themed thing where it's like, how many people would be like, oh my God, I can actually meet these people?
Right.
It's not like you can go to any other con and just meet these people from Sesame Street.
Right. And that's the thing too. We do try to theme it, and so once we have the theme, then we try to get characters, guests that kind of merge into that theme, and that's what we've been doing the last several years. So it's a challenge. It's tough.
Well, we tout ourselves as family friendly, so we know that we are looking at the comic book fans, and but we also know, because I'm mom, we're also like, families are coming, so what do we offer, some of the rest of the family, the kids, so we have a lot of family friendly things. So Sesame Street, I've been talking to some of my friends, they're like, oh my God, you have Gordon, you have Bob.
Right.
I'm like, we're going to be there, I mean, I have the old LP Sesame Street albums with, Big Bird Sings that I'm going to make sure he signs, So we're getting all the nostalgic, but, we're also pulling in, we're giving something for families to do.
Right.
While, traditionally, the guys are looking through the books and trying to, find their treasures.
That's perfect, because people will often target a certain segment only, and then like, how many times do we see kids being dragged around at Comic-Con? The kids is not even having fun.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's the thing about your show. And as I promoted people, I said there's something for everybody. Yeah. So the guys that are into the geeky stuff, the comic books and different things like that are great. The wives that aren't into it, or girlfriends, there's still going to be something there. Because I see some of the ones that look like they're dragged in by their boyfriends. Halfway through, they are into it all. They're like, oh my God, I didn't expect to see this. Oh my God, there's this. Oh my God, there's that. And then you get the kids, and when the kids can go, and you have activities for the kids and going on. I was looking on the back here. You're going to have free board gaming going on. You have a Magic tournament going on for those into that. Free play arcade, courtesy of Big Toys of Sterling Heights.
Big Toys, shout out to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, they've been there before, haven't they?
Yeah, last year they couldn't make it because of a scheduling conflict, but they're back this year, and they bring in half dozen to a dozen video games, and
the big stand ones.
Yeah, the old school arcade.
The Wreck-It Ralph kind of.
And they're located. A quick shout out here, Sterling Heights, just south of 14 Mile on Mound.
That's right.
And so their hope is to get their name out as well.
Right.
And they're a sponsor of the show, so they bring in the games. You can play them for free, see what's there, and hopefully maybe go by their store and purchase one. Which
actually that's become a big thing this year. I know like Walmart and them were actually selling full size stand up arcades. Like they had like Dig Dug and Galaxy and a couple others, because that's become a big thing in the last 20 years where people want to have an arcade machine in their home again.
Right.
And to have a company like this that's actually taking these old classic games and having them available and coming out like that, I think is fun. I've watched years past when they were there, people just lined up to play them.
Oh yeah,
it's like I haven't played this in years. I can play a game for free. Okay, I got to do that.
Right. And then like you just mentioned, we get a lot because part of the formula, if there is one, right, is I think of because I'm a comic book collector and I always have been, and I've set up at shows and sold and stuff. But I figure the person like me, I'm going anyway. There's a comic book show, I'm going anyway. Yeah. So I think about my wife here, like what would bring her, like let's say I wasn't home or I wasn't around and she's looking for something to do with the kids. What would bring her through the door? And so that's something we consider when we're thinking of the different activities and guests as well.
And you get a great turnout. You get a good blend of people into the show, which I always enjoy.
Yeah, and there's actually people I see at your show. There's some we see at a lot of the shows, but there's a lot I see at your show. It's one of those that they come out to your show, and that's pretty much it. They're local to that area, within sometimes even an hour away. I still consider it kind of local, but they're not going to every Comic-Con in the state. And they come out to yours. So one is you're very affordable. You can bring the family out and not drop hundreds of dollars.
Right.
And you're not overly pushing the pre-sale tickets for autographs. Things like that. It's there if you want it. And pretty much if you want to get an autograph, you're going to be able to. That's never a problem.
And that's something else we, and another little, I joke about a lot of things, but we always like of the people kind of show, I mean, and it's true. I mean, as long as you pay admission to come in, you can meet anybody you want to meet. You don't have to pay, $100 for a VIP or $200 for a VIP. And even with the photo ops, which we'll see what happens with that, we're not doing that because my view is stand in line, you meet the person, get a selfie, get a picture.
Right.
There's no reason to have this big dramatic, and if you see in other shows, and
that's the way it used to be. You'd show up, you would
not
meet
something
them.
we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, if you pay for a picture at the table, I think that's better than paying separate and then standing in line again and taking away from the show. And I like that you do that. That it's like the celebrities are here, the artist celebrities are here, the vendors are all here. Just enjoy the whole thing, and we're all in the same area.
Well, I think that ties into without saying names, some shows really are just autograph shows, and they turn it into this whole event where everything is about keeping them in the celebrity area and spending money on the show. So the show makes the money and we don't, because then they're waiting in line for an hour for an autograph. Then it's now you got to go over here to be in line for the photograph session, and then it's just too much. And then, but the way you guys run it, I absolutely love it.
Cool. That's always why it's so excited to do the show. That's why I like signing up every year, because just for that. And you guys are pretty much always my first show of the year to kind of kick off the season.
We see it as the kickoff.
It really does. You're at the right time in winter where we're just far enough away from Christmas and New Year so people have actually replenished their bank accounts.
Right.
And then it's winter time still, where even when it's been bad weather, people still come out because why? It's Michigan and everybody knows how to drive.
People are starting to get that spring fever too. It's they want something to get out of the house for, and this is a perfect opportunity for it. You mentioned the nostalgia factor too. I love how you time it perfectly. You got Jackson Bostwick coming, who was Shazam on TV.
Yes.
And we got the Shazam movie coming out.
So that goes into the planning as well. We look at what movies are coming out and how we can connect it to what we do.
Now, these guys got to absolutely love that these movies are taking off, because I'm blanking on his name. The one who played Captain America in the 70s.
I saw him at Akron.
Yeah. But he's been making appearances because Captain America has been so big.
Right.
And so you're getting the old 70s guy. Actually, he's still in really good shape, too.
Yeah, I saw him. He looked like he could still play Captain America.
He could. He would be great to play Chris Evans' dad.
Yeah.
Marvel should bring him in to play Chris Evans' dad.
Yeah, they froze him and brought him
years later. Like in the Flash series, they brought the old Flash in to play the dad. That would have been perfect. But so how cool, when you're walking around, like certain people, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that show, and all those memories come back of that TV series you used to love as a kid, and that's awesome. And then you got Mean Gene Okerlund and Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yep.
How awesome is that?
Yeah, we saw Mean Gene in Atlanta last year.
Yes.
And he was really cool. He was sitting there meeting everybody and loved to talk, and he still got the same voice. And you could hear him around the corner, and it's like, Mean Gene's here. He's giving an interview. He's just talking.
For some reason, isn't that weird though? It's so weird how somehow people like that's from, and for those who don't know who he is, he's with the WWE back when it was WWF. He was one of the major announcers and interviewers for, he had so many great one-liners he'd always say that I just loved. But something about when you meet these people, and even though you know them from TV, when you hear their voice, it's like, he really does sound like that. It's like for some reason, you're not expecting that. It's like Stan Lee, when I got to meet him one time, and he talked, and it's like, it's the voice from the Spider-Man cartoons. It's like, oh my God, it's really him.
Well, what did that for me was when we had Larry Kenny at the show a few years back. We had the voice of Lion-O. It's like, that's his voice.
Right.
Like, we're out at dinner talking to him. I'm talking to Lion-O. Like, there's no real...
There's something about those things.
That's just his voice.
Or when I got to meet... I'm so bad with names. Pinky and the Brain.
Oh, Rob Paulson.
Yeah, and then he did the voice real quick for me, and it's like, oh my God,
what's funny is Pinky, when you hear him, he's one of the guys that when you hear it talk there, you hear such a lilt in everything he does, every character he has.
You can kind of hear it.
Maybe another one. He's a Detroiter, and I know he's been in Motor City. He was just there recently.
We've got the running list of things.
But he'd be great if you get him and Maurice together, and then they do a panel. It'll be the biggest panel ever.
When I met them, I told Maurice what I really appreciate most from him is that he was the inventor of International Talk Like William Shatner Day. and that was once I told him that, he started talking to me like crazy about it. It was so funny. he really appreciated that I knew that little fact. So then from him, I invented International Talk Like Sean Connery Day, which has not taken off the way his did.
We've tried. We had an episode about it this year. So
coming up in August, don't forget.
Yeah.
But so you've been doing this now almost 10 years. 9 years you said this is?
Yeah, 9 years. 2020 will be the 10 year.
Okay. So you've been doing it for so long. What lessons have you learned along the way? Like what maybe has been far more difficult than you ever imagined, and maybe wasn't nearly as bad as you thought?
Oh, wow. I'll pass this one to my partner in crime here.
I think the biggest worry that we have is the snow and weather.
That's true. That's a heart attack every year.
That's probably the worst part. I mean, we love having it in February because, like you said, everyone's just itching to do something, to get out of the house. But it's always the 10-day forecast we're always looking, and then the 5-day forecast, and then, God, is it going to rain about ice storm? Is it going to snow? Things like that.
And you have had a couple of storms, but I got to say that people still came out.
People still came out, yeah.
And the thing was this, I remember the first one at the college, by 1 o'clock.
That first one,
by 1 o'clock it died off because the ice storm came through and they shut down 75 for a little bit.
Right.
But up to that point, everybody was saying it was like the best show that we'd had in a while. It was just, everybody came out. They rushed in, spent money, and left.
Right.
Yeah, they knew it was coming.
The storm was coming.
Yeah, but they also wanted to come out. And there's people that said, I drove all the way up from Ohio. I'm here. I got to leave by 12:30 to get out and make sure I get ahead of the storm.
I only think there was one time where the weather actually affected it. Like, it was a December show.
Oh, that was at the VFW Hall.
That was
I remember that one.
That was that one winter where we had more snow on record than any winter in 100 years.
You were across from me. Kevin Lee and I had come out, and we got there. We left early and still got there later than we expected to be, because even with leaving early.
Yeah.
And we set up, and it was not as good a attendance we wanted because, again, nobody was coming out.
But that was...
We still had fun.
That was 10 inches of snow. I remember pushing people out of the parking lot. People were stuck trying to leave.
That was the year that I helped my dad shovel the parking lot, and then we had to come back and start all over again. We did it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, that was so great.
It was coming down so fast.
Yeah,
it was crazy. But
that was the only time out of all the shows you've done.
Yeah,
I think that was the only time where it really.
The February shows, even when it's been kind of iffy weather, it's not been bad enough people couldn't come out.
Yeah, people
no, and like you said, it's Michigan.
Yeah,
so it's something where it's snow. It's like, oh, okay.
And by February, people are usually used to it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. December, it's the start, whereas February, we're heading towards whatever. I'll just slide there if I have to.
I've been locked in the house for months. I don't care. I'll just
yeah.
Get the snowmobiles out. We'll go.
But it's always been snow on the ground, but the streets are clear.
Yeah,
you know how it is. They clear them pretty quick. So.
I think the biggest change is that when we first started, hey, let's do this, right? And then we realized, wow, there's a lot of moving parts, and so luckily we've had friends and family who have come in and really helped. And stepped up.
You guys have a great crew that comes out every year to help out.
You really do.
A good staff of volunteers and friends I know help you out, and family. And
family really loves us.
Well, the one comment from my brother was, "Are you doing a 3-day at some point?" I'm like, "Well, we're not sure because it's just Friday and Saturday." He's like, "I don't know if we're helping out if you make it a 3-day." I'm like, "Okay, I'll keep that in mind."
At Christmas time, everybody's giving you coupons like, "I'll work 5 hours for you on Saturday." That's your gifts.
But it's almost like 100% like family.
It really is, yeah.
That comes,
so you guys now probably switch your Christmas giving to actual presents to here's your volunteer T-shirt.
2 free tickets.
A 2019 Great Lakes show. Oh my God, I do.
It's a one of a kind.
But for the most part, most of the committees it's all family run.
It is,
I mean, we do have people who come in. I mean, even friends.
We do have some friends, that come in and help.
Come in who really, really like us.
Well, I will say this. I'm being someone on the other side, they're all very pleasant. The people that come, they ask if we need anything. They're always there to help out when we need them. And we see them all running and doing different things. And you guys are always, hectic. It's crazy and that stuff. But it is one of the better run shows that I do every year, even though it seems like it may not be from your end. It definitely is.
We run around like crazy the entire time.
Yep.
It's like, we joke about this too. It's like, it'd be nice to just enjoy our own show. But it's just, crazy from start to finish, just putting out fires and doing what you got to do to make it run smoothly.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize just how much work is a Comic-Con. I mean, because those moving, you've got celebrity guests, you've got the vendors, you got artists who are never happy.
No, it's just this one. I don't know. He's going to 501st and runs this podcast. He's the only problem. But
no, everyone is lovely.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you always have a good presence.
The vendors are great too. I mean, they're very supportive, and as you know, you guys mentioned too. We've got this core group of vendors who've been there from the start, and have followed us all along. So we don't complain about that at all.
I think that's proof of how good a show is, because when you have the vendors that just want to consistently set up and be there, they're doing well enough to make it worthwhile, and they're enjoying it enough to be there every year, and not worry about, I got to find another show, or I would just take this week off. They want to be there, and I know you've already sold out your spaces
in October.
Which
we've never. That told us right there. We had a pretty solid 2018 for February. We had a really really good show. And I think people are expecting the same. We'll see. I'm teasing about that. But yeah, we sold out, and some people were kind of left in the dust, like some of the regulars who usually wait until Thanksgiving to sign up for their booth, and they're like, "You're sold out." I'm like, "Well, yeah, we were sold out like 8 weeks ago."
Right.
So
I think it's always a sign of a good show is how fast they sell out.
Yeah.
Because then you know that if people are excited about it, it means that you're doing something right. Mm-hmm. And that's, and like I said, I love the fact that you're not trying to always bring the same main guests you're promoting every year. Mm-hmm. You know, you've got certain artists that you do promote every year because they're local and we're going to see them no matter what. And that, but you've got a lot of cool artists coming in. Like you got Angel Medina coming in.
Yeah, and he's been there a couple of times.
Yeah.
Angel's wonderful.
Oh, he's
wonderful.
An awesome guy.
And he even asked us. He's like, "Hey, can I just keep coming back?" We're like, "Let me think about that for a minute, Angel." You know, it's like, of course you can. Come on, we love having you.
Yeah.
And he works on Spawn and Venom.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you got Al Milgram coming in from Amazing Spider-Man.
Yep. And an former editor for Marvel.
Yeah.
Did some DC work, of course, and one of the co-creators of Firestorm.
Yeah.
So if you're watching Firestorm on TV.
See, there we go. That's a great one there. You got Kyle Hotz from Venom coming in.
Yep. And he does a lot of the covers for the current Venom series. Mm-hmm. Did a lot of Carnage. If you're familiar with the Carnage limited series here and there, Kyle Hotz has done a lot of that stuff. So he's a pretty big name to be bringing in.
And Daryl Banks from Green Lantern.
Yep.
Good old Daryl.
Yeah. We see Daryl a lot because we doing the shows we do, but Daryl's always great.
Yep.
And
he's great.
I love seeing him around.
I love Daryl.
But I like the fact you got Guy Gilchrist coming in too, tying into the Sesame Street. He's the Jim Henson cartoonist, and he's done a bunch of other stuff with them.
Actually, and Guy, I can't say enough good stuff about Guy. I mean, he's wonderful. He was here last year. Mm-hmm. He's, as it says, Jim Henson's cartoonist, part of the Muppet Babies, Fraggle Rock, and all that. He's the one who got us hooked up with the Sesame Crew.
Oh, nice.
He told them some really good things about us, which was good. I didn't have to pay him to do that. But but then they reached out to us. And that was something when you mentioned earlier, like what's maybe a little easier now or different now with the show. I mean, the first few years, as any starting show would do, I mean, we're kind of chasing people down, like, would you like to be a guest at our show?
Like,
and then,
please.
Yes, and then you have to explain everything. And the last couple of years, last year in particular, and then this year, people are coming to us. Mm-hmm. And people, I mean, I'll be out somewhere. We're in Milwaukee last November at a show. And I mentioned the Great Lakes Comic-Con. And oh, yeah, I heard about that show. I'm like, really? Like I should respond with, oh, that's cool. But instead, I'm like dumbfounded. Like, how'd you hear about my show? And,
who told you?
Yeah, exactly.
And we hear that in our end. I know I'm talking to different artists I see in different states. I mention it. They're like, oh, yeah, I've heard about that. I should try to do that. So you really should. Yeah. You go, yeah, but it's Michigan in February. I said, that's why you need to be there.
Right. Mm-hmm. And the one thing we hear is that, well, if it were a 3-day show, like, people from other states would come as a vendor. Right. It's like, well, we'll get there at some point.
I think it's great that you're not trying to push the 3-day part of it.
Yeah.
A lot of shows do, and then that third day ends up being really kind of a waste for everybody involved.
Yeah.
And that where you guys are really trying to pack it in. If it's, as I think I told you years ago, the crowd will dictate when you need to have that third day.
Right.
And right now, you guys have a really solid crowd coming in. It's building every year, and that but it's definitely coming in and helping out with that. So, but yeah, I mean, like looking here, you got Paul Story, who's a local guy. He did Gotham Girls. He's coming out now. Paul's done it a couple times, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been there a few times.
Yeah, and then Bill Lobes is coming in, and I know there's been a lot of people trying to help him out a lot this last year.
Yep, and something we did back in February, mixed up my months. In September, we did an auction benefit for Bill Mester Lobes, and we're able to help out him and his wife Nadine. We're looking at doing something similar in February.
Okay.
So I'll tease you with that for now. We're still trying to figure out all the ins and outs of it and how it's going to fit into the show.
For those who don't know, he worked on Wonder Woman.
Flash.
The Max.
For them. The Max. His own work was Journey that he did for Fantagraphics and I think Van Heim as well back in the early 80s. But he's done Marvel work too. He's done Thor. He's done, I'm trying to think what else he's done for Marvel. Mostly it's been DC.
Right.
And the Max too. With Sam Keith. But he was kind of like the ghostwriter, if you will. Sam would give him the plot and then Bill would write all the words. But yeah, he'll be there definitely. We've been he's one of the first guests we ever had. Was Bill Lobes. And then, of course, Keith and Arvell, the early guests we had. Mm-hmm. And I'll say Jason Moore just in case he's listening. So, Jason, teasing Jason. Jason's wonderful. But yeah, all those local guys that we have.
Yeah, and then we got like Randy Zimmer coming out from Flint Comics. He's a former guest on our show. And I think that's another great addition is he comes out and it's a nice cross promotion going on for his newspaper as well as your show. And
we got to change his title to just comic historian. He knows all he knows so many backstories.
Yeah, that's part of the reason we want to have him on the show. We thought we're going to try to do that couple hour special eventually. We're going to work it out and get a few people on and talk about like Comic Cons, the history of Comic Cons, as well as the stadium going on. And
we're trying to get the rights to his story. So he's got all the dirt on everybody.
Yeah, but you also got Vince Locke who did Sandman coming out.
Yeah,
nice.
So I mean, these are some great comic guests coming out, and that's where I think people have missed on a lot of shows that I think is really great. Is you really promote promote the comic side more than just the movie TV side, and it really keeps that feel of still being a classic Comic-Con going on. And I think that's why I'm running into more artists that have heard about it and want to do the show, and then they forget because when they go to for sale, like, oh, they're sold out. I'm like, well, you got to get in early. It's a great show to get.
Talking about promoting great people.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about our other sponsor, Beautiful Home Makeovers. In need of a fresh look for your home, business, or special event, give Jill Webler a call at 586-277-2145 to schedule a free consultation for bringing new life to your interiors and or exteriors. Whether you need something for the holidays or more permanent like a home renovation, Jill has the expertise and creative vision to give you a look that will wow your family, friends, clients, and anyone else who stops by. So be sure to follow Beautiful Home Makeovers on Facebook. Their handle is at Home Makeovers by Jill, or just type in Beautiful Home Makeovers by Jill Webler. Or go to our sponsors page. There's a link there at oddmusings.com.
Yep.
So in addition to all these great guests you also have some neat fan type attractions, just for photo ops and things. We got the 501st, which I'm near and dear to. But in addition to the 501st and all those Star Wars characters, you got the Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah,
they're always
Eric
present.
And the Ghostbusters they're a lot of fun.
They are a lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Who else we got here?
R2D2 droid builders.
That's the other thing. You've been growing quite a bit in the number of groups that come. So
we've had more requests this year.
Yeah.
So the League of Enchantment, we've been working with them the last year.
The League of Enchantment. Who are they?
Yeah, based out of Lansing.
Yeah,
and mostly, God, pick your character, right? A lot of cosplayers.
Are they like a superhero group?
Oh yeah, Batman, Seamus, Lansing Batman, Katie Whitaker, and a few others. Wonder Woman.
Oh, Lansing Batman. He does the Arkham Batman suit, I believe, from the video game.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has all different ones.
He does
got
a great
bathrobe and from the Lego movie too.
Yep. That's right. I've seen him. Yeah, he does a great Batman.
Yeah, they're a great group. They're coming out. Yeah. We got Saber Legion reached out to us.
Saber Legion.
And I assume they said they work a lot with 501st and others.
Yep, they actually do the fights.
Yep.
They do choreographed lightsaber battles. And then you got the Finest, which is the G.I. Joe group.
Yep. So we've had, it's been increasing in popularity.
Yeah, so when you're
reaching out to us.
When you're down there with the family, not only do you get to meet like these awesome actors and everything, but you actually meet characters that you can get your photos with who do amazing costumes and look like they walked right off the TV screen in front of you. So it always wows people, and no matter how old you are, especially people who aren't used to seeing them. Right. Like when I'm in costume, you'll see people who are 50-year-old grown men, and you just see them turn into a 6-year-old. Like when they you are real. It's like the amazement of seeing the character in front of you is always fun, and so you can get those photo ops there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those you usually don't charge for. I don't think any of the groups charge for them. No. Sometimes, like I know the 501st, they are always raising money for charity, so there is usually a voluntary donation, but never mandatory. All pictures are free with them, so very good stuff.
Oh, we're also going to have a costume contest too.
Oh, that's right. That's a costume contest.
So we're still working out all the details because it's going to change a little bit from what we did. For those of you who have been there, we have the first, second, third. We're actually going to change it up a little bit, kind of do some homage to people who are, wearing the store-bought versus the I created it, homemade.
So I have two tiers?
Yeah, kind of that's what we're working towards.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So just to kind of, because you put a lot of energy and effort into those costumes.
And then all those who place have to battle to the death for the final prize.
Sure. That's why we brought the Saber Legion in. So they'll be coordinating that whole activity.
But there can be only one.
Of course, it's going to be very bloody because you got Hacksaw Jim Duggan there, and he does autographs on the 2x4s.
That's right.
So there'll be like 1,000 of those walking around.
Good point.
I think we should be concerned at this point. Let's see.
I have a feeling we're going to hear a lot of that weekend.
Well, and you mentioned the 501st. We have Lydia coming back as well. Lydia Graber, who was in Return of the Jedi.
That's right. Lydia is awesome. I love getting to know her over the years.
Yeah, it's a great chance for someone to meet an actual Ewok.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
For those, she's a prominent Ewok. Actually, she's the one on the hang glider that gets shot down, and then she's also the one in the ATST next to Chewbacca. So when Chewbacca takes over the chicken walker, as they call it, she's the one inside the cockpit with Chewbacca.
See, we need to get Peter Mayhew to come to this show with her there and have them next to each other.
That would be great. She could be rubbing his hair like she does in the cockpit. Right. But unfortunately, I think Peter's done doing shows.
A lot of them are retired.
Yeah.
You know, and now that I mentioned that, we had Paul Soules, who's been at the last couple of shows we've had, did the voice of Spider-Man back in the 60s. Yep. He's retired now, too.
Is he?
So I've mentioned that because a lot of people are reaching out, like, bring Paul Soules back. It's like, we tried. I talked to his son, and he's
like, I'm done.
Yeah, just retired and just kind of trying to enjoy.
Yeah, he's someone that I didn't see a lot of, so seeing him at your show was great.
Oh, yeah, he was and the nicest guy, the nicest family.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Really are, you know.
It just amazes me, though, thinking back, like all these people who are, you know, so many of them are now at the age where they're retiring from Comic-Cons. But when you go all the way back, look at the original pictures from, like, the first San Diego Comic-Con, for instance. Not first, but the early ones, when Star Wars, they're at just some little fold-out table with little cardboard pictures of what Star Wars is, and Harrison Ford, Luke Hamill, and Carrie Fisher are sitting there, no lines. They're just sitting there, and I believe George had the novelization of Star Wars available for people to buy to get to know it at the time. No one knew what this was, and it's like these rinky-dink little things that could fit in a couple rooms, and now look at where, who could have imagined, even like I started in 2010 doing shows, and, you know, scheduling a show back then it was rare where I'm like, oh no, there's 2 shows on the same weekend. Which one am I going to do? Now it's like almost every show I have to like struggle with. Sometimes now it's 3 different shows going on the same weekend where it's like, oh my God, I do all 3 of these usually. Now I got to choose one. What one do I do? So it's amazing that this growth has occurred. What do you think attributes to that? Do you think it's the movies? Do you think it's something else?
I think it's a mix of things. The movies, of course, big motivator, but just people like us, I mean, who grew up with this and now have this disposable income. And, you know, and it's like, oh, I remember when I was a kid and start buying stuff. Right. And I get this a lot, too, because I set up as a vendor. I mentioned that earlier. But people just come around and they'll point like, I had that. And, of course, you hear the thing of, you know, if my mom didn't throw all that away, you know, I'd still have it.
Dominic's having issues with his phone.
There we go. I thought that was all in my head for a minute there. I was like, wow.
Oh, it was in your head, kind of.
That's right.
But I think that's been the growth. It's been, you know, TV, television, movies, and then, of course, just the culture that we're
it's all been
in. Interesting to see what happens now that, you know, Stan Lee's not around anymore.
Right.
And it's the final Avengers movie. I know they're going to move into something else, of course, but it's to me, it's a lot of big question marks right now.
Actually,
what's going to happen.
When I came out of Aquaman, there were people behind me saying, "Oh, they must have made this after he passed because I didn't see a Stan Lee cameo." I'm like,
oh boy,
wrong company, people. Yeah. This is DC.
That's where I come out going, I can't believe that Stan Lee cameo. That was awesome.
A lot of people are talking about the last Stan Lee cameo in the upcoming Avengers, but as we talked about previously, they actually filmed. They expect that it'll be in a few more movies too, because he would film a bunch of movies cameos at once. So we probably have a few more movies.
Well, he is in the animated The Spider-Verse one.
I heard he was.
He is.
Awesome.
Spoiler.
Yeah, it's been all over social media.
It's nice to kind of cool.
Yeah,
I think my all-time favorite though is still Big Hero 6 when he shows up.
That was great.
Yeah,
because that was so unexpected too.
Right.
You know, when you saw even the picture on the wall, I thought, okay, that's the cameo.
Right.
And
then at the very end.
That movie was so good. I hope they make another one. I really.
Well, they had this TV series going on now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, it's been going on for, I think it's in the 2nd season now.
I didn't even know that.
Disney Channel, yeah. It's done in more of a 2D style animation, so it's not done in the full 3D. So.
Okay.
But I'd like to see that one do another one. It's like The Incredibles. They were both really great in that.
Yeah, they're both like the Fantastic Four done better.
Yes.
Yes.
Hopefully, with Marvel reacquiring rights,
there you go.
Get a good one.
For your 10th anniversary, you should get the Roger Corman Fantastic Four actors.
Is that the shelved one? That
it's on YouTube.
So look on her face as you say that.
Yeah. So. They actually put it up on YouTube to watch.
Well, I heard it's actually better.
It's not the one you're thinking of.
Oh, okay, that's better.
It's from the early 90s. And Corman made it so they could keep the rights to
that one.
And actually, it was a good story. It's very cheesy.
Right.
I mean, they literally spent like $30,000 to make it.
I heard it was actually better than the last one released.
Yeah.
Probably better than all of those.
Yeah.
Really neat.
I will say though, Doug Jones was really great as the Silver Surfer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that one, yes.
But
that one was okay. That one was okay. The rest of them,
Chris Evans as Human Torch was perfect. Everybody else was like,
It's actually amazing thinking about that though. Chris Evans did such a good job as Human Torch, and he was like the cocky, kind of young superhero guy. That remember when he was cast as Captain America, a lot of people were like, how is that going to work? It doesn't make sense. And now Chris Evans is so iconic as Captain America.
Right.
Yeah, plus he bulked up so much. It seems like two different people. It doesn't even seem like the same actor. It shows how good his acting is that he can do, like Chris Hemsworth, for instance, he doesn't act when he's Thor. He's just, he was born to be Thor. He's just perfect.
He doesn't know roles. Going, that's just Thor playing that guy. Like the one on the ship. Oh, look, Thor lost weight. Okay, he'll bulk up again. Don't he's got another Avengers movie.
Oh, that was crazy how much weight he lost for that one. What was it, The Heart of the Sea?
Something like that, I didn't see it.
But so how do when people who are interested in learning more about your show and where to find it, how to get tickets, where do they look you up?
GreatLakesComicConvention.com.
There you go. All the information there.
Everything's on there. We've got pre-sale tickets right now, discounted for a little longer.
Okay.
We're trying to decide when to cut that off.
And do you have special pricing for kids?
Ages 10 and under are free. Parking is free, which that's kind of hard to find these days when you go to a lot of these bigger shows. So it's all.
And this
online.
is at the Macomb Community College South Campus, which is 12 in Chainerish, Hayes.
12 in Hayes.
12 in Hayes. So,
and parking-wise, you have a ton of parking there. So people that when it's free parking, it's definitely you're not going to have a problem parking.
It's a college campus, so there's a lot of parking available. And being a weekend, there's nobody there, so everything's open and easy to get in.
Not too far off of 696, as long as they've had that done by then. Otherwise, you're coming down from 75, right? Down or 94, whichever.
Hopefully that's.
Well, they're supposed to. The delay. They're supposed to have that done next month, so hopefully they'll get that done because that definitely make it easier for people getting in. It's not really that difficult because I've come in different ways. And
you can even take 94 to 12 Mile and zip over.
That's usually how I end up coming in. So it's even if it is close, still it won't stop anybody from getting there. Right. Now you're selling. I know you sell a 2-day ticket as well as just a 1 day for Saturday.
We got a Friday ticket and then a Saturday ticket. And something we should mention here: we also give prizes away, and that's something we do pride ourselves on these really high, value comic books. Friday night we're giving away the first Miss Marvel, which obviously because the movie's coming, a lot of attention on that comic right now. And Saturday we're doing the first Thanos, which is the Iron Man 55, which is the condition we have probably close to $500 in value. Wow. So you buy an admission ticket for Saturday, you got a chance to win the Thanos comic at 5:00, and then Friday would be Miss Marvel #1. So as you buy the admission tickets,
I may have to buy an admission ticket just so I'm in the raffle.
You can't though. We've turned if you have vendors and anyone who bought
even if I pay for a ticket.
No, it just looks so bad that here's the winner. Scott Zambelli comes running up in his stormtrooper outfit. Hey, it's for me. It just looks bad. Sorry.
Cursed rules.
Yeah. But and if you buy a 2-day ticket, Friday, Saturday, you get a chance to win both of them. We've not had that happen, but you could literally win. If we put you on Friday, if you win, we put your name back in the basket.
Those are nice
Saturday.
comics.
And you have good hours. You have 5 to 9 on Friday, so people can come after work. And then you're 10 to 6 on Saturday.
Yeah. And if you buy the 2-day ticket, we let you in at 9:30. So
there you go.
Hour in there.
And then in addition to this, you also sell comic books. How do people find you online for comic books?
It's Webhead Comics.
Webheadcomics.com.
I'm a big Spider-Man freak.
You love your
always been Spider-Man. Fan. She smiles.
So who's your favorite Spider-Man on movies?
Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2, in my opinion, is the best superhero movie ever made.
Okay.
But we'll see. I mean, I like the Avengers, of course, and things like that, but it was just Sam Raimi did such a great job translating that character.
For overall movie, I still the Spider-Man 1 and 2 with Sam Raimi were my favorites. We had Macho Man in the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Bonesaw going nowhere.
But those movies as complete movies were great. I really like Tom Holland as the complete package of playing such a young Spider-Man. I like that. But the Sam Raimis are still not counting 3, are still my favorite.
Right, exactly. 3 over.
3 would have been perfect if they just got rid of Venom, and the Sandman storyline was great in there. That could have been
and dealing with
Green Goblin.
That wrapped up everything.
That would have been perfect.
That's because they're trying to throw in Venom and all this stuff.
My understanding is a studio forced Venom.
They did. Yeah, it's just like them doing the Venom movie this past year. They've been trying to get that out there more, and I haven't seen that yet. People say it's good, but it's still not, Spider-Man Venom. It's just a new Venom.
And I figured Tom Hardy ruined Bane for me. I don't need to ruin Venom for me.
Again, not his
so
fault.
judgmental. Listen
I
to
am.
you. Wow.
See, that's another one. A third movie the studio ruins.
When is Bane going to be a luchador?
Yeah.
Come on. Anyways.
Well, great. So Great Lakes Comic Convention is going to be February 22nd and 23rd.
Yep. So buy your tickets early. Go online now to it.
Yeah, you guys can. It's going to be a great show. I think it's going to be. It's not just because you're saying it's your largest show. It's going to be your biggest show yet. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody coming out. You should come out both days. Spend lots of money with the artists, especially me and Scott, and anybody else can secondary and
just say hi to everybody else. Right?
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a blast. And like I said, all the guests are going to be awesome. I don't think there's going to be anything wrong with that. So, any final words for you guys on your show?
We're both silent here. It's like,
we have something for everyone. So if you love seeing guests, come see it. If you're more into the books and the collectibles, come do that. If you're bringing your children, we have face painting, we have games, we have all, the 501st, the Ghostbusters. I mean, we have R2 builders. We didn't even talk about the R2.
The R2 builders.
That's probably Kurt Zimmerman's part of that. And he'll be there with Randy, his brother. And
they're cosplayers. If you do cosplaying, please come out.
Yeah, wear your costumes.
Yes.
It's always fun to have costumers.
And the kids love wearing the Halloween costumes over and over again. So have them come dressed. I mean, it's a fun.
See, I like that the most when the kids come dressed up, and you can tell they're just excited to be dressed up in the costumes again.
Yeah.
And it is amazing. So it is it's a fun family thing to do when it's cold and you want to get out.
So once again, go to www.greatlakescomic.convention.com. Buy your tickets early. Get them now while they're still discounted.
Yep.
And make your plans for February.
Awesome. Yep. Mike and Amy, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
So glad we could work it out with you guys on your vacation this week. So until next time, guys, Dominic, take us out.